Okay, John, here it is. This is the TDE transmitter. Normally it's upright like this. The transmitter section swings out for maintenance. Down below is the power supply, which is where I spent most of the time working. I had to do major rewiring to convert it back to the 220 volts three phase that it was. This is the HF section. It's got an 803 in the final. It's got back there's an 807, your familiar tube. 807 as a driver, and an 801 or 837 rather is the oscillator. These are all resistors, lots of resistors. Look at the wiring in this thing. All the wiring is run in lead tubing. Every single wire is run through lead tubing, soldered together, so it's vibration resistant, and who knows whatever else they had for the specs for it. This thing was packed with rust. I've got some photos of it. I mean, literally, I had parts that were hidden in just a pile of rust. I had to chip away to find out what they were. Luckily, most everything in the HF side I've got replaced. Caps all checked. The rest, I still have to clean up the roller inductors. I've cleaned them a couple of times. There's got several of them, but you've got there. Here's another one here. Oh my gosh, they're all over sides of variable caps. Lots of coils, lots of taps, lots of big switches like these ceramic ones. These are the two antenna leads. It's got two transmitters in one. It's got the low frequency transmitter that covers 300 kc to 15 or to 1600. Then it's got the high frequency transmitter antenna goes on this side, which covers 1600 to 18 megs. Look at the final coil, the loading coil in the low frequency section. This thing is huge. You can stick your hand inside that puppy. You've got a variable coupling for the antenna loading. This was gutted of a lot of parts, so I got, because the guy didn't have any use for it, and he needed to use parts from this to make a switch here for the tune, operate, calibrate switch. Buddy Tom in Richmond had one of these type switches. I made a new base plate with the spring detent to go ahead and give you your stops. This one's got an 8 position. This one over here is the hardest one to actually make. This one I have is a 3 position for tune, operate, calibrate. And anyhow, got that. Only a few parts I've had to replace. The only part missing now is I got the speech amp. I've got it over there on the bench. It's all cleaned up. It was just a block of rust. And yeah, and there's a big variable cap that goes here that the old owner said he found, and he can get back to me. So that'll be great. The power supply, that big empty space, is where the motor generator set goes. The motor generator set, here's the bottom control for the panel for the motor generator set. And there's a knob bat handle here for controlling a rheostat on the generator for getting your adjusting your high voltage. The high voltage, meanwhile, comes out of this. This is the motor generator set. I had totally torn down. Totally. I had a machine shop make one new part that was missing. I've shimmed out the shafts, put new bearings in it and the rest, and made a 3-phase converter. Let's power it up. Let's see. Holy cow, I can't get this plug in here. There we go. All right. Turn on the 3-phase converter. shack will be a bit noisy. And this is, 100% quieter than it was before we rebuilt it. All right, John, there's the quick tour.